Shall we begin? Yes, Lisa. I was already wearing the shirt in another video. I want to talk about my school experience. Alright, here we go. I want to talk about my experience through elementary school, middle school, and high school. Here we go. I am not gonna say what schools I went to because I'm gonna talk some shit. Because it needs to be talked about because it wasn't right. So, okay, let's see. Elementary school. So the elementary school that I went to was pre-K through 5th grade. In pre-K, there's not much to say about pre-K. We sang songs and played. It was fun, I guess. Kindergarten, I've always been a shy kid, just a very antisocial, shy kid. I was just anxious all the time. Throughout school, I didn't like school because it forced me to talk to strangers and yeah. So I was just nervous all the time. What's coming to my mind when I think about kindergarten is the teacher that I had. She was very sweet and I liked her a lot. I remember sitting in a circle and reading. Right after we would sit in a circle and read, we would take a nap. But I remember every time we would read before the nap, I would just be like, and I know now she did that on purpose. We read before our nap because it made us tired. Well, it made me tired. It still kind of does to this day. Anyway, what I'm getting at. So after we would read and then it would be nap time, I remember I woke up from my nap, and when I woke up everybody else was already awake and playing, and I don't know why, when I woke up I just felt like, I just started crying. I just felt singled out, I guess. I just felt left out in some weird way, like, why didn't anybody wake me up? I don't know. And then my teacher rocked me in her lap and read me a book. So that was nice. What else do I remember from kindergarten? Ooh, I remember in kindergarten there was this one boy who gave me an Indian burn. He thought he was doing some real damage on me when he was giving me an Indian burn. Guess how my face was? I was like, thanks, I had an itch there. But inside I was really like, ooh, you bastard. I wasn't gonna let him see that. Nope. First grade. Nothing really pops up in my mind about first grade. First grade is when reading really happened for me. Second grade. Ooh, that teacher. She was alright, I guess. I mean, she is the one who gave me the kindergartner's desk when I told her that I did not want one, so she was already on my list. Ooh, there was this thing that happened one time in 2nd grade where I had just gotten to school. As soon as I walked through the door, the teacher's staring at me. She's just kind of like, the whole vibe in the room was just uncomfortable. All the kids were staring at me. Everybody was staring at me. I was walking over to my cubby, putting my backpack up. I just like looked back at my teacher and she was like, you need to go to the library. I think you know why. And I was like, okay. I mean, I was such a little delicate, anxious, shy, tiny thing. I mean, I'm 4'11" right now. So when I was in 2nd grade, I was probably like this big. So like the fact that the teacher was just like, you gotta go to the library. You know what you did. I was just like, what the hell? What did I do? So I'm walking to the library wondering what's awaiting me there. And when I get there, there was 2 librarians. There was one who was always working the computers, or she was always just like more of the office lady part of the library. The other one would talk about books and read to us and stuff, and I liked her a lot. She was really sweet. She reminded me of Miss Honey from Matilda. The other one, she was okay. She just didn't seem like she liked kids. I don't know. That's just my memory. That's probably, I shouldn't say that. She was the one who was like, Geraldine, and I was like, yes. And then she showed me a library book that I had checked out. And the day before that, I was looking everywhere for that book. When she showed it to me, I was just like, oh no. Because it had rained the night before, and when she pulled out the book, it was all water damaged. So I guess the book fell out of my backpack somehow, or maybe I had it out and I was reading it while I was waiting for my parents. And I remember exactly where I would wait for my parents after school. It was by a parking lot up against a fence, and that's where she said that she found it. And so I was just like, oh my god. Like they made it like I did this horrible thing when I was a 7-year-old who made a mistake. What really bothers me though is when I first walked into my classroom and my teacher was just like looking at me with her arms crossed, just like, you need to go to the library. I think you know what you did. Like I would just, like I did this horrible thing. Bitches! I don't agree with that. It wasn't a nice experience. I'm pretty sure I cried. I used to cry a lot. I still cry a lot. I'm a crier. I cry. Fight me. There were also some good experiences. Sure. Third grade. Third grade. Yeah, I liked third grade. I mean, my teacher was cool. I don't know, he was fine. I didn't like hate him, but he wasn't my favorite. He was just kind of there. There was this one time in his class, I was just like playing with a strand of my hair. We were reading and I was just kind of like, and he was like walking by, and when he got to me, he was like, and I just remember being like, I'm reading, why can't I play with my hair, weirdo? He was fine. It was fine. I want to take a nap. I'm tired. Fourth grade. Fourth grade is when it starts getting interesting. I mean, not really, but it was kind of the end of fourth grade when I started not really liking boys, but a boy finally noticed me. The first time a boy ever declared his love for me in elementary school was in fourth grade, and the first thing he ever said to me was, "Te quiero mucho." I had no idea what that meant. I had this other friend who spoke Spanish, and I was like, what does te quiero mucho mean? He was like, it means I love you a lot. And I just was like, oh. I'm in love. A boy loves me. I love him too, just because he loves me. Oh, I have to say, so in elementary school, we had rotation where we would go Spanish, gym, art, music, theater arts, whatever. And the art teacher had some anger issues. I was terrified. She was just scary. I remember this specific instance where we were making snowflakes by folding the paper and cutting, and this kid was just not folding his paper right. I see her kind of like walking towards him aggressively. She takes his paper and she's like, there! Everyone was just like, ugh. I just remember being like, I need to do everything perfect or this woman is going to murder me. How did she get that job? We were all terrified. We were all terrified, I know that. And that's probably why no one said anything, because we were scared. What grade was I on? Oh yeah, fourth grade. Oh my god, there was this one time a whole bunch of fourth graders from different classrooms all went into one, and we were watching a movie, and she was scary too. Even her name sounded like she was rhymes with witch. All the kids that were in that class were sitting at their desks, and the other classrooms were sitting on the floor. I remember sitting on the floor watching this movie, and the teacher of this classroom went up to one of her students who was sitting at a desk. It was one of those desks where you can like put your stuff inside the desk. It looked like she was cleaning her desk out. She was moving stuff out. She was putting stuff in. As soon as the teacher went down and say something to her, she was like, as she's quickly putting stuff in her desk, I guess she didn't do it fast enough because the teacher picked up her desk and dumped it out. I'm not exaggerating. This was terrifying to witness. And I just remember being like, glad I'm not in her class. That ain't right. Ah, 5th grade. Okay, I liked 5th grade. Best friends that I had in 5th grade were also the best friends that I had in 4th grade, but we weren't as close as we were in 4th grade than we were in 5th grade. In 4th grade, I had a best friend in 4th grade, and then me and her were both friends with these 3 other girls, but there was just like 3 of them were kind of best friends, and then the 2 of us were best friends, but all 5 of us were just kind of like a best friend group. But then my best friend in 4th grade moved, so in 5th grade I was in the same class as these 3, and then it kind of turned into this one kind of like broke off, and she became best friends with this other girl that used to be best friends with me in 3rd grade. It's wild. And so it was just, and then us 3 in 5th grade, we were all best friends, and we were also teachers' pets. We got to do a lot of things because we were teachers' pets. So that's why I liked 5th grade a lot. I had a crush on this one guy in my classroom. He was a bad boy. I remember one, oh god, this is embarrassing. I remember one time at the playground, okay, I had told one of my friends that I smoked a cigarette because at that time in 5th grade, my family would get together like every Saturday night, and a lot of my family members would smoke. So there was always like packs of cigarettes around. So I knew that they were smoking Marlboro cigarettes. I remember telling one of my friends that, just trying to seem cool, like I told one of them that I smoked a cigarette. And then one of those friends told my crush, the bad boy, that I had smoked a cigarette. One time at recess, we were all just kind of just hanging out on the playground, chilling, maxing, relaxing, all cool. He was like, so what kind of cigarettes do you smoke? And I was just like, Marlboro. He was like impressed that I knew a brand of cigarettes. I just felt so cool, and I was just like, he wants me. Anyway, so 5th grade was pretty cool. Middle school. In 6th grade is where I met one of my bestest friends. Do you count elementary school relationships as a first boyfriend? Because if we do, then technically that kid who told me te quiero mucho, he did ask me out, and I did say yes. There was no sort of like dating connection. He just followed me around everywhere. I didn't know how to act. Sure, that was my first boyfriend. 6th grade. My second boyfriend ever. I didn't even really like him. I just was flattered that someone liked me. Cool, I have a boyfriend. Do I have to kiss him? I wouldn't like sit with him at lunch because my friends would be like, go sit with him. Like, I don't want to, because then he's gonna start touching me and telling me that he loves me. And I was like, I have to break up with him. I'm pretty sure I did it through a note. Sorry about that. It's getting pretty dark in here. Sorry it got dark there for a bit. But yeah, so the highlight of 6th grade was that I had a boyfriend that I didn't like. Man, middle school is when I really started getting annoyed with school. I felt like I was there with a bunch of kids. Sometimes I just felt like an old lady. You know, there'd be kids who would try to act all cool by being loud. Teacher, 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 do I do it like this? Yes, everybody can hear you. Yes, everybody's looking at you. Are you happy? Towards the end of 7th grade, I got boobs. So I was getting a little bit more attention from boys, so that was interesting. 8th grade, I had boobs. They were new. 8th grade, I don't know. I don't have much to say about 8th grade. I feel like 7th and 8th grade were pretty much the same grade, so I don't remember much. Let's get into high school. Oof, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Yeah. I just thought about when I lost my virginity, sorry. Yeah, so I only went to high school for my freshman and sophomore year, and then I got my GED. So all I can talk about for high school was 9th and 10th grade. Highlights for 9th grade. Nothing's really coming to mind for 9th grade. And I thought I had more shit talk for teachers than just my elementary school teachers. I'm high schooling pretty good so far. Go me. 10th grade, oh yeah, I got my first ticket in 10th grade for skipping. Was that in 10th grade or was that 9th grade? The way 7th and 8th grade kind of felt like the same year, 9th and 10th grade also felt like the same year for me. I just don't really remember much, but I was very annoyed with my peers, and I just really didn't want to be there. That's what I remember. Yeah, so there wasn't a lot going on during my school experience. I was quiet. I just didn't like school. I didn't like being there. I didn't like having to get up in the morning. I didn't like having to go to sleep early at night. I just wanted to get up, go to school, do what I needed to do, and come home so I can eat and sleep and watch TV. Just talking about it is making me tired. But yeah, so school for me was a wild experience. I couldn't wait to get out of that hellhole. And then you gotta start working, which is a whole other story, but I might save that for another video. It probably might be just as wild as my school experience, so look out for that one. That's all I have for today. So if you like this video, please like it. If you love your mother, please subscribe. And if you have anything to say, then comment down below. Anything at all. Let me know. Alright, bye.